This is a pick a deck reading. The question is, what will your next romantic relationship be like? So the first set is Queen of the Moon Oracle cards. The second one is Celtic Spirit Oracle cards. The third is Wisdom of the Oracle. And the fourth deck is Mystic Journey Oracle cards. So if you want, you can click on the timestamp below to go directly to your reading. See you there. Okay, so this reading is for those of you that chose Queen of the Moon Oracle, the first deck. So the first card we have here is Abundance. And that is Hunter Moon. So I think for some of you, perhaps not all, but you may find that you've been alone for a while. There's a number of foxes in the picture and squirrels and things. So what's sort of coming across is maybe, you've been alone for a while and at home, quite content and happy living with your pets. And you're okay with that. But there is sort of a longing and a hope that maybe there's somebody right for you out there somewhere. But I think some of you have kind of maybe given up on that idea, not completely because you're watching this reading, but I think you may be thinking, well, I'll be okay on my own if I have to be that way. Okay, so Spirit said to move on to the next card. And so we have Acceptance. And it's the Waxing Crescent. So what's coming through here is if you're on your own and you may have some desire for a partner, but if you've gotten to the place where you know what, you're going to be okay on your own, that's acceptable, you're fairly content with your life and how it's progressed and where you are in life. When you get to that place of acceptance where you're okay with you've been working on you for a while and you're pretty content with what you're doing, there may be a surprise of someone coming in. It feels like a gentle, slow entrance. It doesn't feel like, ta-da, here I am, and gonna surprise you, sweep you off your feet. No, this seems more, I'm getting the word practical from Spirit. It seems more practical in how this relationship is going to come about, in that it seems as though you're both in a good place, that you and your future partner have been working on accepting yourselves, being content and happy with yourselves, and it's like a friendship is going to blossom and bloom, and from that, romance is going to show up, and it has the feeling of more of a long term, even perhaps a lifelong relationship, because of the work both of you have done to get to this place in your life. Okay, so Spirit said to go on to the next card. And so we have Discernment. And that is Waxing gibbous, which is the phase of the moon. So for this, what I'm getting is you might have people coming forward that may want to engage in a relationship with you, or there may be some attraction, either you with them or them with you, and perhaps even both. And but there's that need of discernment, of being careful of who you date. You know, and when you get to a place where you're content and you don't really need somebody, you're not desperate to have someone in your life, then you can be more objective for the partner that you're going to choose. So to keep that in mind, you know, watch for the red flags, be careful of their behavior. When you start dating someone, they tend to show the best side of them. They're trying to please you and win you over. So if there's problems right away, yeah, that's a relationship you want to avoid. So I would suggest trust your gut. I know a lot of people say trust your heart over your head. I say trust your gut over your heart and your head because the gut is usually correct. That's usually where the emotional turmoil will show up. If there's going to be any, you'll feel it in your gut, like, oh, this just doesn't quite feel right. Go with that. No matter how much your heart says, oh, I want that, if your gut says, trust your gut. Okay, so the next card we have here is extremes. And it says hot moon. So I think what's coming through it is when you find the right partner that you know was coming through in the second card, and it may build up slowly, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? If you're friends first, because you know there's the lust period, and many people think that love is actually what lust is. They get that confused, and so if they're going with the lust, that's going to be short term. That's going to burn out. But if you have that friendship established, when the um, hot lustful time arrives, it it's going to add to the friendship, and when that lustful time sort of starts to erode and not be as strong, you still have that friendship to lean on. You still have the, you know, you want to build your relationship slowly. You don't want to jump in with both feet. And so what will happen is because you have the friendship, when things start to cool down, you'll have the friendship, but things will spark and heat up again. Cool down, spark and heat up again. And so this isn't going to just be one time where, you know, you guys are head over heels and superly sexually attracted to each other and then that burns out. No, it's going to stay rather evenly and a nice flow throughout your relationship. Okay, and Spirit said to move on to the last card, and we have resistance here. And it's the waning crescent. So, she's got a tight fist trying to hold on to everything, you know, in her hand and to not lose anything, but you know the birds are flying out because she can't hold on to everything. So there's sort of a lesson here that when you find this really good relationship, yes, you're going to want to hold on to it, but you don't want to, you know, squeeze too tight. You don't want to handcuff them and keep them hostage in your house. I'm over exaggerating, but you want to be able to let them live their own life. You live your life, they live their life, and the two of you can communicate and um, enjoy what the other has to bring to the table. So you don't need that tight grip because you're both invested in the relationship. It's not one person trying to hold on to someone who's trying to escape. Neither one of you are trying to escape. So if that was an issue in the past where you found that maybe you had partners that weren't trustworthy, and some of that can go with, if you're feeling, and especially when we're younger, right, we tend to feel rather desperate to have a relationship, to have love. Where's my lifelong partner? Where are they? And when we learn to, we're okay, we can live our life on our own, nothing wrong with that. When we get to that point where, yeah, I'm comfortable with me, who I am, and I'm looking after my own needs, then that relationship that comes in, we don't need to hold on to, we don't need to grasp on as tightly. It should be a much more mature, loving relationship. So we don't need to hold on as tightly as perhaps we did in the past. Perhaps we were always checking up on a partner that we had in the past who was always cheating on us or something, right? We don't have to worry about that. So we can loosen our grip when this partnership arrives, okay? But remember, be careful and don't, jump into every offer that's sort of out there. Make sure it's the right one for you. Okay, Spirit said that's it. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, so this reading is for those of you that chose the second deck, the Celtic Spirit Oracle. So the first card that we have for you is Fawn, Beginnings, Willingness, Opportunities. So I'm getting that you are an attractive person. And so I think you've probably already experienced this, but you tend to have a lot of different people interested in you. So it seems like you don't have to go long times in between relationships, that there's usually plenty of offers for you to accept or choose from. So it seems as though perhaps maybe there's too much choice, that there's too many offers, that there's always this idea of the grass is greener on the other side. So that, because there's so many people that are attracted to you and want to spend time with you and try to have a relationship with you, that the one you're in now, when you find the faults, because at first everything's all rose-colored glasses, everything seems wonderful and perfect, and no, this is the one I'm looking for. But then as time goes by, the faults start to show up. They're leaving their socks everywhere around the house, different things, right? And so because you have so many offers coming to you, you kind of look and see, is there something better out there? And so it seems as though maybe that's a pattern that you might have, of always looking for the next best thing, because the one I currently have doesn't quite cut it. So I think there's some caution that needs to be given here of, you keep looking for the perfect partner. No one's perfect. They're always going to have faults. They're always going to make mistakes. So maybe, you could take a step back and try to slow down and give people more time. Now, if they're doing, abusive, negative thing, they're cheating, they're being, horrible people, absolutely you want to move on. But if it's someone who, they fit into your life pretty good, you're happy with them, maybe the spark has gone, that's natural and normal. In a long-term relationship, the spark is going to go. It's going to, come and go. So like the spark will kind of leave off. You'll find yourselves kind of separating a bit, but then the attraction will rekindle and the spark will start up again. So that's a natural thing. If you're expecting it to be, like a fairy tale, or even like some movies where, oh, it's happily ever after, everything's absolutely perfect, this is the absolute perfect person for me, I am always going to be lusting after them, everything's, going to be absolutely wonderful, you're not going to find that. And that's not how relationships work. You need to have the friendship and the attraction in a good combination, so that when the attraction starts to wane, when it's not as strong, you've got that friendship, you can talk to each other, you can communicate, you can still do things together, and that will bring the spark back. So try to give those relationships that, this is actually a good relationship, and give it time, and see how it goes, and see, this is actually someone I could spend a long time with. Okay. So the next card we have here is the Maiden, Innocence, Love, Past. I think that's past. Yeah. Sorry. Wasn't sure if it was fast or past, but it's past. Okay. So there's a youthful quality here about you. And that may be why you have so many people attracted to you, because of your playfulness, your youthfulness, that bit of innocence. Like if you still blush when people say things to you, then people find that attractive. And those are good qualities to have. Sorry, I'm trying to see what else is coming through. Yeah, I think that's this card is about you, and how others see you, what it is that they are attracted to you for or about, right? Okay, yeah, Spirit said to move on to the next card, so I guess that's all that was coming through for that one. And this one is Bloodlewood. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm probably butchering it, sorry. Wisdom, Power, Transformation. So there feels like there's a higher, okay, this could be a higher power, this could be your higher self. This could be kind of like it's going to be different for whoever's watching this. It could be a parental figure, or someone sort of in authority, someone you look up to, who you kind of go to for guidance when it comes to relationships. Maybe you go to them and ask them, okay, well, this is what's happening, and get their advice. And like what Spirit's indicating to me is that it's time to sort of stop doing that. Um, Again, it goes back to sort of the first card where you're always looking for the next best thing, looking for what's going to be absolutely perfect. And that's preventing you from having a long-term relationship. So if you want a long-term relationship, it's sort of like you kind of have to stop going to this source and sort of spilling all your problems out about your current relationship to them. You know, it's kind of like what Spirit's sorry, because this is Spirit saying it's kind of time to grow up, right? Like, yes, you have the innocence and that's okay, but it's time to sort of mature in your relationships and how you deal with them. So, work this stuff through with yourself and with your partner rather than going to an outside source. Hey, this is what's going on. What do you think about it? That's something will actually, it should just be your own decision. What do you yourself think about it, and how is it affecting you? How do you want it to affect you? And if there are issues, bring that up with your partner and work on them and see if you can't come to um, a compromise or a solution for whatever it is that's going on that is bringing difficulties into the relationship. Okay. But yeah, there's sort of a stop looking for answers outside of yourself. Okay. Okay, so the next card we have here is Oak, Doorway, Strength, and Journey. Yeah, so Spirit right away is saying if you can start to trust yourself more and work on the things yourself, rely on your own abilities, your own wisdom. Um, when you can do that, you're going to become stronger, a stronger person. You're going to have a much clearer idea of what it is you want in a relationship, because it just feels like you've had taste tested a lot of different relationships to kind of get a feel for what it is you're looking for, and it feels like you're starting to get to the place where place where you can rely on your decisions, that you have a clear understanding of what it is you're looking for. And I think you're going to be able to find it, but you sort of need to define that first. Okay. Yeah, Spirit said, yep, move on. So the next card we have here is the Green Woman, Feminine, Nature, Oneness. So yeah, I hear again, it's going to be a lot of inner work, because the attraction people have for you, because you're a very attractive person, is more of an outer, right? They're attracted to your appearance, but are they attracted to who you are inside, really? Do they take the time to even get to know that? Or are they just sort of after your body type of idea? And so there needs to be that inner work. You need to do the inner work and make sure, hey, for my next relationship, I want someone who wants to be with me. That if for whatever reason my appearance was to change, and everything can change in a moment, like in a snap of time, your whole life can revert. You know, hopefully that would never ever happen, but that is a realistic thing that you need to be aware of, that hey, the appearance that everyone finds attractive, that could disappear one day. And so you want to find someone who loves you as a person regardless of your appearance. It's like going to be extremely difficult to find someone who, I mean, because appearance is part of why we are attracted to people. But you don't want them just to be attracted to your body. You want them to be attracted to your mind, to your soul, to who you are as a person. And that is a relationship that will be much more meaningful for you. And so that's something you might want to be looking into for your next relationship, is who gets me, who's not just, lusting after my body, but they actually, want to know me as a person. And that's something that, would be good to look for in a future relationship. Okay, Spirit said that's it for your reading. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so very much for watching. Okay, so this reading is for those of you that chose the third deck, the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And the first card that we have here for you is Time for a Nap. So what I'm getting here is maybe you are a dreamy type of person. Maybe you've got Pisces in your astrological chart strongly because they tend to be rather dreamlike. Um, so you may be a dreamy type of person, or perhaps that's a phase you're going through currently. That you're almost like you're kind of floating around. Um, Maybe you're looking for a dream relationship. Maybe you've had a dream about your future partner, and that's what you're sort of wrapped up in, is this dream-like quality. Maybe your ideas of romance are very dreamy. So that feels like that's where you're coming from for this first card. Is kind of holding on to the dream of love and having a lifelong partner, the dream of finding the perfect person, the dream of, finding your dream woman or your dream man or your dream them, I don't know, whatever term they go by. And so yeah, it's just very, very dreamy is what's coming through. Not that you should be sleeping, but just that you're kind of a dreamy person. Maybe your appearance is very dreamy. Okay, so Spirit's kind of giggling and said to move on to the next card. So what we have here is peace. So yeah, I think if you're at peace with yourself, if you're feeling peaceful at this time, that it's kind of like you're floating on the dreamlike cloud towards your partner, and you're kind of waiting for their dreamlike cloud that they're sitting on to bump into you. And so it's it feels like you're not desperate, you're not upset, that you don't have this perfect relationship, this dreamy romance that you've been looking for. You're quite at peace. It's like it's coming. You're just calmly, peacefully waiting for it to happen. Your reading so far is so dreamy. It's really nice. Nice energy. Okay, so the next card we have here is Blessed. And this feels like them. This feels like their energy. And that, yes, they are floating towards you. Like you're in the first card, you're kind of this dreamy fox on the moon and the clouds. And then you're sort of this egg of, and there's again floating up on the clouds here. You're just kind of sitting there, and they're facing this way. They're coming towards you, floating in nicely, right? And it really does seem like it's going to be a very good relationship in that you fit well together. Their likes are similar to yours. Not everything, you want to have a little spice, a little bit of difference, but that you really fit well together. That it's almost like you're such a dreamy, peaceful, kind of calm person, and they kind of match your energy. It's not like opposites attract here. It feels very similar. The energy between the two of you feels very similar, and that it's going to be a really nice, smooth relationship, almost like you just, I don't know how to put it, like you gently walk towards each other come together and then continue on the journey, walking side by side equally together in the relationship. It's really wonderful energy that you have in your reading. Okay, the next card we have here is Clean It Up. So what Spirit is telling me is yeah, clean it up. Prepare for them entering into your life, because it feels like you're not going to have to wait very long. I don't like to put times like a time period on it, because Spirit's idea of time is much different than ours. For them, from what I understand, is that we go through a season of winter, and so depending on where you live in the world, that can be anywhere from 4 to 8 months long. but Spirit's idea of winter is an ice age, and for them that's one season. So that shows you the difference of how time moves with Spirit. So when they say soon, I say soon, but I can't put a time on it, because, like I said, their idea of soon is much different than ours. But yeah, they're saying to prepare yourself, prepare your home, prepare what you need to get ready for this relationship to happen, so the two of you can, meld in together nicely, like when you approach each other and you meet, and then you're going to continue on your journey. There's not going to be a lot of bumps, there's not going to be a lot of obstacles, because you'll have everything you need worked out to incorporate and include them in your life. Okay, so Spirit said to move on to the next card, and we have Imagine. So yeah, I mean, to me, what I see is a figure standing here on the clouds in the light, their arm up. Yes, I won. um, and so it feels like this next relationship might be the one that's going to last for the rest of your life. Um, your life love, and it just your reading just feels so harmonious, so beautiful, so gentle, calm. It's so dreamy. It's amazing. So I think you're going to be really, really happy with the next relationship that you embark on. It feels, yeah, very romantic. So that's amazing. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Thank you so very much for watching. This reading is for those of you that chose the fourth deck, the Mystical Journey Oracle cards. So the first card that we have here for you is New Dawn. So, what I'm picking up here is perhaps some of you are involved with more than one person. You could just be dating different people, or maybe you're involved with someone and attracted to somebody else. So there seems to be a splitting here of desires, of which direction to go in. So maybe you're looking for some clarification for that, or maybe you're just not involved with anybody, but you're attracted to different people and wondering, which one to sort of pursue, or you're hoping to get. If you're involved in more than one relationship with more than one person, there's a pull here in the middle of her head. And what I'm getting is that you need to look within, and it's time to sort of decide what it is you really want. Find out what's essential to you, what's essential in your life. So, like, what are the most important things that you want in a relationship? even if you have to sit down and write a pros and cons list or whatever, figure out what's important to you and make sure the person that you're going to get involved with wants the same things. Many people, I don't know why, but they get into relationships. Some of them get married without sitting down and working out the basic fundamentals of what they want in life. So, one person may want to, move out onto a farm and, have a hobby farm or something, where the other person is a city goer and has absolutely no interest in moving out to the country. Or one wants kids and the other one doesn't, and they will enter into a relationship and even enter into marriage without having figured all of this out first. And then, a few years down the line, they're like, well, who are you? This is not what I wanted. But they've put their own feelings and desires, and they daydream about their partner, believing that they're a certain way without actually asking them, without actually finding out first. So sit down and really figure out, do you want children? How many children do you want if you want kids? What kind of lifestyle is it that you're looking to have? And make sure that when you're with somebody that they match you as closely as possible. If it's a situation of you want children and they don't, well, that relationship's not going to work. You can't coerce them and go ahead and have a kid if they don't want one. You're heading for a divorce. You're going to split up. So, but if it's a case of, maybe you want 3 kids and they want 4 kids, well, that's something you can work out with in time, right? But you both want children, and your goals are similar. So yeah, look for that. If you're involved with more than one person, find out, well, which one actually is going to fit what I want in life, because really that's more important. You may be more physically attracted to one person more than the other, but you may still be attracted to the other person, but the other person wants the same things you do, where the one you're more physically attracted to doesn't. You're better off with the one that you're not lusting after as much, because you have a better chance of having a relationship that can work. So that's something that is being recommended that you work on. Figure out what it is you really want in a relationship, where you want to go in life, and make sure that the person or that you're going to be with has very similar, if not the exact same goals. Okay, it'll be a huge relief later on. So the next card we have here is breaking free. And so yeah, this goes with the first card. If you're involved with someone, or you're um, imagining a life with someone who does not share the same goals, does not share the same beliefs and philosophy in life, that sort of thing, you're better off breaking free from them and looking for someone who is going to fit in with you better. So that seems to be becoming the theme of this read so far, is break away from things that don't work for you. Break away from the people that have the toxic behaviors and perhaps even abusive behaviors. Free yourself from that. Really figure out what it is you want. How do you want to spend your time? How do you want to be treated? Make sure that they treat you that way. Okay, so take as much time as you need to work through that stuff before entering a relationship, and make sure that the person you're going to be seeing and getting involved with matches what it is you're wanting. Okay, because it's for your own safety, your own sanity, and that will be the best bet for the two of you to actually make it long term in a relationship. So the next card we have here is Divine Gateway. So I think perhaps in the past you've had some relationships that you regret, and many of us do things. We allow people to stomp all over our boundaries, and then we regret it later. We may even resent them for it. So there might be a bit of this in the past of not being treated right in a relationship, maybe of being used, hopefully not abused. And so maybe you're carrying a bit of that with you. And that's something that we all need to work through, right? You've got to work through the bad stuff, feel it, live through it, work through it, move on from it. Because if we're sort of holding it inside and we're not working through these things, and we think, no, the next relationship will be better, and we just bounce into the next relationship, it's going to be very similar to the relationships that we've had in the past, because we haven't grown, we haven't worked through the emotional baggage that we've got. So we need to, work on ourselves so that we can break free, again from the second card, break free from our past mistakes, um, by figuring out, what it is, what do we want, and what behavior will we accept, and what won't we accept. Okay, and then we can move on from there, and then hopefully find the right relationship, or better relationships until we find the right one for us. Okay, the next card we have here is Eternal Self. And yes, you are an eternal being. You have always existed, you will always exist, just not in your current form. So it seems to be a need for soul searching. Maybe that's something you're already working on, and that's wonderful. That's awesome to hear, and congratulations, because we all need to do that. We all need to work on ourselves, heal the stuff that happened to us when we were young, heal past bad relationships, any trauma, anything that we need to work through, get that healed, because you need to do that to advance. You're going to need to work through that stuff in order to get to a place where you are ready for, the one, the lifelong partnership or relationship that could come through for you. Okay, Spirit said to move to the next card. And so we have self-realization. Now these cards really go nicely together. You have a nice reading. So yeah, when you work on all that stuff, right? When you figure out what is it that I really want, break free from anything that's toxic, break free from anything that's not working, work through all the stuff in the past, continue to work on ourselves till we get to the place where we are good being us, so that we could spend the rest of our life alone if we need to. We're okay with that, we'll be content. We get to a place where we're really happy with ourselves, then boom, right? Everything will happen for us. And so you'll find the proper relationship. It's almost as though this person in the card is napping. It's like Sleeping Beauty, and then you're the individual that's finding them, going to release them. So also that you could be Sleeping Beauty in this scenario where, you're doing all this work to make yourself the best person that you can be in this life so that, you can find each other. But there is this discovery, this finding. So I think you will end up with a much better relationship. And it could be, you might have to go through a few relationships, hopefully not too many, that are just going to keep improving. You'll be treated better. You'll have more in common. There'll be more harmonious relationships for you until you find the one that's just right for you. But there's a caution here. Spirit's reminding me that if you don't do this work, if you kind of ignore it and just keep kind of, going along without having worked on yourself, without having worked out all your past issues, it's just going to tumble and fall and not work out for you. So really try to work on yourself to get the right relationship for you. Okay? I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so very much for watching.